Good morning. Hi, my name is David Hamilton. I'm the founder and chairman of the America's Future Series. And I'd like to welcome you to the first day of the class symposium, the Cyber, Land, Air, Sea, and Space Symposium that the America's Future Series is hosting through the month of April. This is the Space Innovation Summit. It is hosted by Major General Lee Levy and Zahir Ali, both members of our board of advisors. And it is also, we have the privilege and the honor of having with us Lieutenant General Harry Radagi, who is the longest serving member of our board of advisors and who is the head of the National Cybersecurity Center. I'd like to give a couple of quick introductions for them, and then we'll talk a little bit about the day. But I want to welcome all of you for participating in this event and all of the events that are going to be coming up over the next 30 days or so. Please understand that if you are registered for this event, you're registered for not only for today and tomorrow, but the other three events, including the Cybersecurity Summit, which is led by Lieutenant General Harry Radagi of the National Cybersecurity Center. The National Security Pitch Day, our sort of Shark Tank, if you will, the following week. And then lastly, the Defense Innovation Summit, which ends the entire program on the 27th and 28th of April. So please look to our website for all those details, et cetera. But first, I'd like to welcome, if I could, Lieutenant General Harry Radagi. And I just want to say hello and good morning and welcome to this event. How are you today, sir?
Very good, sir. And thanks, David, for that kind introduction. And I welcome my fellow participants here today, both the ones that have worked so hard and diligently on putting these 2 days of Space Innovation Summit together. And I look forward to all of the speakers here today. I thank our industry partners and the sponsorship that they have provided, and also all the hard work that has gone into assembling this with my friends, General Levy and Zahir Ali. So with that, David, I'll turn it back to you for further introductions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your support over the years, in particular on these programs. You've been a stalwart, and we really appreciate all your support. General Major General Lee Levy and Zahir Ali, I'd love to have you say hello, introduce yourself briefly, a little bit about what you do and your work on this program. So if we could, let's start with Lee. How are you this morning, sir?
Well, good morning. Good morning. So greetings to everybody that's tuned into us this morning. It's an honor, as General Radagi said, to be a part of this and to be here with all of you today. An amazing program that's assembled. Z and the whole AFS team have put together an amazing collection of space intelligentsia, if you will. And there's something for everyone, whether it's industrial based, whether it's security, whether it's commercialization, all aspects in between, software, education, economics, policy. We will touch on a whole variety of these waterfront issues that really affect the entire environment of space, both on Earth and in orbit and beyond. So it's a great collection of like-minded space individuals who look forward to advancing our nation's space interests, both economically and from a security perspective. And I'm very fortunate to have Zahir Ali, Z as we call him for short, for everybody who doesn't know that, as my welded wingman on this endeavor. And he's a great thinker, a great leader, and has certainly put a yeoman's amount of effort into today's and tomorrow's activities. So with that, I'll go on mute. And Z, I'd like to yield the mic over to you for a short introduction.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to everyone joining us. I know it's early on the West Coast. It's still dark out here in the San Francisco Bay Area at 0630. Good morning, generals. Good morning, David, Mr. Baldridge, and others that are soon to join us, and to our attendees. Truly appreciate everyone taking time out of their very busy lives and schedules to join us, both as speakers and as attendees. What you're going to see over the course of today, and indeed the entire programming of the class symposium, is a series of discussions, panels, and interviews that we hope helps truly move the needle and ideally break it off, as David would say, to help our country and its allies around the world, and help democracy and freedom around the world. We are at an amazing point in history, particularly in space, where commercial endeavor is overtaking government endeavor. And we are opening up a frontier for humanity, not just for any one nation. And that comes with great opportunity and great challenge. Today and tomorrow, we're going to explore that, and over the course of the symposium, other challenges. And you will hear very clear recommendations and ideas for what we can do to best seize the opportunity and make sure we go forth with the greatest hope and capability. Thank you, David. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Z. Appreciate all your hard work on this, bringing all these great speakers together. It's going to be truly a meaningful 2 days. So thank you, sir. So, the America's Future Series mission is to help America become a stronger, more noble, and more generous country. That is our stated mission. We focus on issues that impact U.S. global competitiveness and national security, and certainly space is at the forefront of that. But one of the things that we strive to do is to support those who serve, our America's treasure, those who have worn the cloth, those who have sacrificed for us, et cetera, not only have given their lives, but those who continue to soldier on. And we have a great organization here that we'd like to highlight. We always try to highlight a worthy organization. This group was introduced to us by the Dixon Center, who are sort of the go-to people on military philanthropy and people who are really making a difference. And I'd like to welcome Bruce Buckley, the CEO of Soldieron. Bruce, I'd love to welcome you to our group today, and would love for you to share it maybe at a high level. I know we could spend 5 hours talking about all the wonderful things you do, but I'm sure there are a handful of things that you'd really like the public to understand, and maybe a little bit of how they can connect with you and your good work.
Great, thank you, David. And thanks to the America's Future Series for inviting us and letting us kind of share our mission. So to be fairly succinct, I'll tell you that we started as a private nonprofit in 1994, and that's when the VA began funding a program called Grant Per Diem, which really works as a shelter transitional program to help veterans who are homeless, who are getting out of jail, who are having difficulty in their life. And instead of doing it themselves, the VA funded private nonprofits. So that's how we started 25 years ago. We started as pretty much a transitional shelter. And after about 10 years of seeing the results of some success, where a veteran who had difficulty could come into our program for up to 2 years, we would see them get back on their feet and often return 1, 2, 3 years later. So we decided then to kind of go out in a little broader direction, and we began building permanent housing. And right now, we're focused in Massachusetts in the Northeast. We have 7 buildings that we built that have a number of apartments. So we've got about 225 permanent housing units, and we've got about 150 that are currently under construction or in development. So we're beginning to gain momentum in that area, but really it's not the apartment or the housing that makes it work, it's the community. So we really work to build a community to support the men and women who have difficulties, who serve this country. And I think the community continues to grow. We've added a multiple of programs from financial literacy to home ownership as kind of a prevention to homelessness, as well as legal support. We employ a lot of formerly homeless veterans in our program. We have a pretty extensive transportation system, a call center that I'll give you the number to in a minute. If you do call in, you'll talk to a formerly homeless veteran who came through our program. We also work in the Northeast in a program called SSVF, which we've got about 100 full-time employees doing SSVF outreach work in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. And we literally serve thousands of veterans every year as prevention to homelessness by paying rent, utility deposits, and other supports, and then attaching services and supports to the veteran, whether Soldieron provides those supports or an agency that we partner with or the VA. We not only connect with them for the veteran, but we make sure they get to the appointments, we provide transportation, we do follow up, we help them get medications. We connect them to other benefits in the community, whether it's Social Security benefits or food stamps or other support systems that they may have difficulty getting to. So we really touch a lot of veterans' lives. We serve thousands of veterans for the past 25 years. And we don't serve just veterans from these states, because homelessness, if you're not familiar with it, which I've certainly become intimately familiar with it, really, I think we all have a version of why someone's homeless in our heads. And I had the same kind of preconceived notions, but I've realized it's not addiction, it's not mental health, it's not financial need. Those are certainly contributing factors, but really it's they don't have a community. They have somehow lost their support system. And that's really what we become, is that support system, because homelessness is loneliness. There's no one you see that's homeless that's not alone. They may be with other people, but they're alone. And I think that's what we've been able to provide. We have columbariums on all of our permanent housing sites. And if you're not familiar with a columbarium, it's to inter the ashes of someone who's passed away, because most of the veterans that live with us, when they do pass away, they've chosen to be interred into the site that they lived at, because we're usually really the permanent home till the end of their lives. So we have up to 11 years of permanent housing with veterans who live with us for the last 11 years and are still there today. And those are men and women that have often struggled with permanent housing. So that's really kind of in a nutshell what we do. I can certainly, as you mentioned, David, speak for a lot longer on the real specifics, but that's what we do as an agency. And I don't know if I can share the screen, if that's allowed here or.
Absolutely. So what I'd recommend, sir, first off, I want to say thank you for the work you do. Someone who is an Army brat, I want to thank you. And someone who actually grew up homeless, I want to say thank you, because I do know a little bit about what that's like. So what I'd like to encourage everyone to do is to go out to Soldieron, to go to their website. You can Google them, find them and connect with them and support the work that they do. And if you need their help, please don't be too proud to ask for help. You've earned our support as a veteran, and your family has. So please reach out to them. So Bruce, want to say thank you so much. We'll let you go for now. We hope to see you in the future, and keep soldiering on. We appreciate the work you do, sir.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
It's because of our sponsors and their support that we're able to put on these programs, Viasat being the title sponsor of this program today. And we're very lucky to have Rich Baldridge with us today. I'm going to give a brief overview of him, and then I'd love to have Rich. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the support of Viasat making all of this possible. Whatever you want to say, thank you for that.
Thanks. I'm upset you're making me follow Bruce. That was outstanding, Bruce.
Yes, sir. He's a tough act, and the work they do is a tough act to follow. But you're doing some really important work for the United States and all of our allies, et cetera. And you guys have been a staunch supporter of the America's Future series. So we really appreciate that. I'll give an overview of you real quickly, though. But Richard is the President, Chief Executive Officer, and Board Director, and is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Viasat. He's responsible for executive and operational leadership of the company, with a focus on building and growing a customer-centric organization that will continue to deliver compelling global services and products. He oversees the corporate strategy and operations for the organizations, guiding and evaluating the company's 3 operating segments: broadband services, government systems, and space and commercial networks, and cultivating and maintaining relationships with the investor community. Rick joined Viasat in 1999 as Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, added the position of Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer in 2000. He was appointed President in 2003, and then named Chief Executive Officer in November 2020. During his tenure, Viasat has grown organically and through acquisitions by more than a factor of 10 to a multi-billion-dollar technology company. Rick's leadership has helped Viasat evolve from a product manufacturer to a global services provider, now serving as a major prime contractor and technology partner to companies worldwide. Rick has been featured in the San Diego 500, a list of influential business leaders in Southern California. He was elected to the board of directors of Viasat in 2016, as well as serves as the director of Document. I'm sorry, I apologize if I'm butchering that. Document Incorporated, provider of engineering and manufacturing services to the aerospace, defense industry, and Evo Nexus, a San Diego-based nonprofit technology incubator. Rick came to Viasat from Raytheon Corporation, where he was vice president and general manager of Raytheon Training Systems. With more than 4,000 employees in the division, Rick held day-to-day management responsibilities overseeing finance, legal, marketing, and overall corporate operations. So Rick has a broad background in operations, leadership, strategy, et cetera, in this world. And so what we thought we would do is we'd love to have you talk a little bit, sir, about space, the future of space, Viasat's position in that, and your vision for these sorts of things. Love for you to share a few of your comments about that. And I really want to say thank you again for being the title sponsor of our program today, sir.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I wanted to say thank you for the rest of the participants and the speakers for taking your time out with this very, very important summit. Unfortunately, like many things, it's virtual this year, but everybody seemed to make it work. We haven't seen people back away from doing the important things in this environment, and we're certainly happy to be part of these great couple days. I've got a great lineup and panels highlighting over the next couple days, so we hope people will be able to enjoy as much of that as possible. We really think this is a transformational time in the DoD space. We emerge from this year of the pandemic and some global questions about readiness across the board, not just here, but places all over. We're incredibly impressed with those that are out there putting their lives on the line every day. This has been a very stressful environment for a lot of us. So we see a renewed focus on modernizing DoD operations, with industry and the DoD working closer together. We think than ever before, certainly as from our perspective, to diversify the industrial base, which we believe will translate very quickly into new emerging technologies and capabilities. We see an evolving defense market, integrating, much more focused on integrating commercial technologies in a rapid way. For example, the Air Force Space Command under General Mayman developed a Satcom enterprise vision. That plan creates a seamless network of military and commercial satellites in orbit that allows you to roam between various different networks, which adds, we think, some defensiveness to that space. This enterprise vision shows the U.S. taking a space technology leadership position, we think, in leveraging commercial Satcom in space. We see a rising of a new defense industrial base, which is focused on modernizing and playing a vital role in providing secure, resilient Internet of the battlefield things for connectivity. The DoD is definitely focused on a much more modern manufacturing engineering workforce, supporting that in the industrial base, continuing to reshore some of the capabilities in the industrial base that has at times drifted away, and reforming defense acquisition process to better meet the realities of the current 21st century. At Viasat, we think we've got an opportunity to help strengthen DoD's efforts here. Our portfolio includes Satcom, mobile networking connectivity, tactical data links, all overlaid with a fully integrated and holistic cybersecurity defense system. We leverage machine learning, AI, data analytics strategically to help better inform all of these systems, and are doing that jointly with our DoD partners, customers. Now, thank all of you guys for taking time again to schedule. And in these next 2 days, we've got a great schedule ahead of us, and I'm sure you're ready to get onto them and away from me. So we've got Dan Hart, President and CEO of Virgin Orbit, discussing space commercialization. That should be fun to watch. We've got General Thompson, Commander Space and Missile Systems Center, talking with Viasat's government systems with our president of our government systems, Ken Peterman, on the topic of realizing space enterprise vision. We've got Steve Kowitz, Steve, of the Aerospace Corporation. He's going to sit down with CNBC's Michael Sheets to talk about workforce of the future. We've got a really cool panel on space and the multi-domain operations that's led by our Chief Technical Officer, Craig Miller. He's also the brother of one of our founders. And then tomorrow, We have keynotes from Tony Bruno, CEO of ULA, and the Honorable Ellen Lord, former Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment. So I'm sure going to be a lot of rich discussion, a really great panel. We're thrilled to be part of it in support of what you're doing here in the space innovation future. So for that, welcome and thanks for letting us be involved.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for helping us welcome everybody. Thanks for your leadership and your vision. You said a couple of things I thought were really important. You know, this notion of roaming and not being dependent, having a resilient capability in space for our communications is absolutely critical. So the fact that you guys think that way and think towards the future and do all the what ifs, et cetera, that keep us safe and productive, we appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that you're working across the commercial sector and working with the DoD. It's going to improve all of our lives. All of the work that you're doing there is improving technology, innovation, and ultimately has an impact, just like all of the NASA missions, et cetera. This work that you all are doing in space is very much akin to us trying to put a man on the moon. So we really appreciate the impact that it has on our lives and for all Americans and for all of all the people around the world.
Thank you. I think when we think about our commercial space efforts and investments, we come at that from what capabilities does our DoD customer need from the very beginning design of that, and then how do we have that be a flexible portion of the DoD's assets that they can use. So thanks.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your work and we appreciate your helping us stay at the forefront of all things, because our near peers are doing their dead level best to get ahead of us. And you're doing your dead level best to make sure that we stay competitive, and we appreciate that. You have a great day, sir. We appreciate your time.